Okay, folks, sorry about that. I thought we were streaming. I, once again, goofed up on that. App is that... I hate that app. Anyway, so, currently, to catch you up on what you've missed in the last 12 minutes while I've been sitting here talking to myself, Joe and Rawlings setting very good times on the medium tire to get themselves in very good position for the Haas team. Max Andrew, the only car ahead of them on the soft tire, followed by Dark Ice Racer, who has once again pulled out a very good performance for the Alfa Romeo team in 4th place, followed by SSR Zampa, Trace Me, Silkweaver, Mex Face Ace, Marlon Kanga, Killer F1, Aero Sven, Draghi Regano, ARS Guido has retired from the session. We missed that. What happened there? Heatwave and Whiffy Winner yet to set a lap. If you missed anything so far, as everybody's coming back in, looks like to re-rack to go again. I was having some issues getting the camera to behave. It would snap onto Whiffy Winner every time I changed car. So, note to self, don't try to stream using the wheel as a controller, just use the controller. Anyway, so looking here at Aero Sven, he is starting a lap. Running a little wide through turn 1 there. Let's see what he can do down through Sector 1. Currently sitting P11 at a 116.3. He's about a half-tenth up. Not a ton of time you can make through Sector 1 here. It's all pretty straightforward. Sector 2 and Sector 3 are really the technical parts where you're going to make up a lot of time. Takes a good little bit of curb there, carries some nice speed through that chicane. This is the corner where you really get a couple of corners right here where you're really going to make time. Doesn't run wide, very nice and tidy. And now we're going to see him come through turn 11. Don't want to run wide, keeps it tidy there. Half a second up, that's doing good. And what can he do through Sector 3 for the Alfa Romeo team? His teammate's currently sitting in P4 as Zampa has now jumped up to P2 just behind Max Andrew in the Mercedes. So its order is Ferrari, Mercedes, Haas, Alfa. McLaren, Ferrari, Williams. And Sven's going to upset that order and jump to P8, so he picks up roughly about 7/10 from his previous time. Killer F1 out there on the soft tire, starting a lap. This is Weiser Square after his name change, let's not forget. You got to imagine Guido is going to go for that hard to medium reverse strategy because of where he's going to be starting. So Heatwave and Whiffy just have to set a lap, and he's going to be starting dead stone last. And and he invalidates, but still, Killer F1 setting purple Sector 1 there. If I were Killer, I'd be turning down that ERS to save up for another run. These tires are not going to be, or even he might come in and try to do a last gasp ditch to another set of softs if he's got them. He was on the medium at one point, so he is just going full tilt to try and get back to the pits and re-rack and go again. I think he's just going to be able to do it. As Rawlings and Joe retire from the session, they're happy with where they're at right now. Unless somebody can really pull something out. Heatwave is starting his lap in Mercedes. We're going to follow along with him. Down into turn 1, third gear corner. Nice and easy on the exit. Don't give it too much throttle or else you end up in the inside wall. And it's down to the second corner, braking just after that 50-meter board on the inside. I like to take that in fourth gear and run it a bit wider. You carry a lot more speed that way. Up to turn 4, Mansell. Almost flat out. Lifted off a lot more than you really would want to on a soft tire there. Into turn 5, very easy to get the back out from under the car here. Up to turn 6 and 7, the chicane. A quick flick right, and then left over the curb. Running right out to the exit. And then into turn 8, turn 9. Want to keep it nice and tidy on the exit here. So you got a little out of the gas there. Turn 10, and then turn 11. And he misses the apex entirely through turn 11. Got on that outside curb on the entry, and just it did not cooperate. Turn 12. 90-degree right-hand corner, turn 13, 180-degree uphill left-hander into a 180-degree right-hand corner for the final corner. Slightly wider radius on this final corner. Keep it in fourth gear. He goes down to third. And up towards the finish line, what's it going to be? He's going to go to P4 and split the two Haas cars. So a good job there. Minute 45 left as Dark Ice Racer starts another lap on the mediums. Not sure what he's really looking to gain here. He's on the medium tire. I would just honestly sit on that for the moment and not try to take any life out of it. There's a lot of traffic right in front of him, too. This is not good, as Trace-Me is out there starting an outlap. And we see here Silkweaver. Looks like he's had an issue somewhere. Over 10 seconds down on his previous time. Probably just going to pack it in here in the pit lane. He is. Aerosfin out there on another outlap. Next Space Taste coming up to the line. What is the Ferrari going to be able to do? It's a 14.5. That's going to put him P3, just behind his teammate SSR Zampa and just in front of Joe. Silkweaver retires from the session as we would expect. Heatwave has jumped to P5. We already mentioned that. And Marlon Conga coming up to start a lap. Aerosfin trying to find a hole to get in. Whiffy winner on a lap right now, and he is actually, I think he's invalidated or spun or something of that nature, because he has got red track and he is not on the pace. And looks like Andrew has actually spun at the exit of turn 5, so that is why we have a yellow flag there. So that will not be doing him any favors. He'll not be improving on that lap, as teammate Max Face Taste looks to be on an in lap. SSR Zampa coming up to finish his lap. What can he do? He's going to go to the top of the board with a 1:14.217. Zampa currently on pole. 10 seconds left to play in the session, then laps will count. Looks like that's Aerosfin behind him. It is. Coming down to turn 1. Zampa runs very deep off the side of the track. Good sportsman-like move there to get out of the way. Next, Andrew retires from the session from P2. What can Aerosfin do? Coming up, he is 0.8 up on his previous best time. That's a good improvement. That'll slot him up a lot of positions if he can hang on to it, and that's just through the first sector. What can this guy do with 2 more sectors worth of time? The track might be coming alive here at the end, and it might just be playing into Aerosfin's hands. Touch wood. Whiffy winner retires from the session without a lap set, so ARS Guido will not start an ignominious 15th of 15 cars. He will start 14th. With a free choice of tires, so I still think the hard tire is the way to go for him. Aerosfin only a 1/10.5 up there. Looks like he lost a lot of time through the second sector. That's interesting. Not sure what's going on there. Looks like he's getting a lot of wheel spin out of that penultimate corner. Out of ERS, coming up towards the line. What's it going to be? It's going to be a little bit of an improvement to P10, but I don't think that was worth the position. Because now he's going to be the last guy starting on a used set of tires. So that, I believe, is everybody's laps done. Nobody really jumping around at the end there. Marlon Conga already completed his lap, I think. Yeah, he has. So now we're just waiting on people to retire from the session. All right, so congratulations to SSR Zampa for getting the pole position here for Tier 3 at the Hungaroring. It's a very twisty technical track, very difficult to pass at, as has been exampled all weekend long here with the BRL drivers. Really only 2 solid overtaking points, maybe a couple more if you get risky with it, but turn 1 and turn 2, definitely the 2 prime overtaking spots at the end of the DRS straights. Turn 4, if you're optimistic and the guy makes a mistake in front of you, you can maybe make that work. And then down into turn 12 as well is an opportunity if the guy in front makes a mistake and doesn't defend. So, looking down the order for the top 10, only the Haas cars starting on that medium tire. Gotta wonder what Dark Ice Racer, I think he was on the medium. I'm not sure if he had a time on the medium, but either way, those 2 are looking very solid, well over a second clear of the next car on the medium tire, which is Killer F1 down in 12th at a 16.1. So, the Haas cars look to be having it, once again, all their own way. Who can maybe put up a fight and stop them? Is it going to be Zampa? Is it going to be Andrew? Is it going to be Face Taste? Or is it going to be Heatwave? All 4 of those drivers, if they get a good start, could have an opportunity to upset the balance of power here at the front of the field. And once again, we are going to have a dry race. Thank you again to Heatwave 4 for being our resident weatherman here in Tier 3. So we're just waiting on everybody to set their tire strategies for the race. A couple of different options you have here. You have the soft to medium, which obviously the front three are going to be going for, or soft to hard, sorry. The front three are going to be going for, unless they try to go for a two-stop, soft to medium, which technically is faster around here. However, because it's so difficult to pass, usually traffic getting involved makes that a little bit difficult. As we now have ARS Guido being the first driver to ready up and start the session countdown timer. 20 seconds until the formation lap. And once again, let's see if I can't get Toxin in here before the race starts. I guess not, he's still showing offline. Anyway, so I guess I'll just fly solo. I love this track anyway. So, as the drivers circulate around, please make sure you comment who you think is going to be the race winner tonight and what you think the podium order is going to be. My personal prediction is going to be Joe, Rawlings, and then it's kind of a toss-up between these three in shot, the two Ferraris and the Mercedes of Zampa. Who is going to be in that third position, or will it be one of the drivers a little further down the grid? Let me pull up the tire graphic and see who... I keep trying to use my wheel because I'm sitting in my chair because I'm having some back issues today. Believe it or not, I'm actually more comfortable sitting in my sim chair than I am anywhere else because of just how... I basically form-fitted it to my back because I have back issues. So, much like an actual cockpit seat, I'm kind of just cocooned in this thing. And it's quite comfortable. I could actually fall asleep in here if I really wanted to. But, I will not. So, everybody outside of the top 10, so Silkweaver, Killer F1, Garagi Oregano, ARS Guido, and Whiffy Winner are starting on a tire other than the soft tire, as well as Joe and Rawlings, who qualified on those tires in 4th and 6th. So the two Haas cars looking like the best of the field, as, we see some issues going on there as Dark Ice Racer appears to get it all wrong out of turn 11. Doesn't appear to make contact with anybody, so he will just file in at the back, and that will certainly not help his tires out, being the softs. As it looks like Andrew and Zampa having some squabble over track positioning there. Penalty is going to be very big tonight, so everybody wanting to keep it between the white lines. Very easy to get track extension penalties here at places like turn 4, turn 6 and 7, turn 9, turn 11, and turn 12. As the grid files onto the front straightaway. Last car in position of Whiffy Winner 5:16, who did not set a time. ARS Guido, the only man starting on the hards. 3 in front of him on the mediums. We're going to be looking down here towards turn 1 from the back of the grid, waiting on those 5 lights. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights on. Heatwave gets a drive-through immediately, and we are away. Heatwave jumping the start. He is going to be well out in front of the field as they go down to turn 1. But he will have a drive-through penalty to serve, so that will not be helping his race out at all. As again, we get the typical Cody's jumbled start order, and looks like Joe is already making a move around the outside for P2. That is going to certainly shake things up. We got a couple of cars ghosted out for some reason there. But Joe slots into what is effectively P2. Several cars running wide there as we file through the first timing line. The order is Heatwave, Max Andrew, and Joe. Heatwave probably going to be wanting to make use of that clear air while he's got it. Maybe try and pull out a little bit of a gap while he's out in front before he has to make the ignominious drive of shame down the pit lane for jumping the start. Not something we see a whole lot of, actually, as jump starts. We've actually seen New Zealand Ryan do that. Our Tier 1 champion at Britain last week, he did that. So it's not entirely uncommon. I've done it before, not in an actual league race, but I've done it plenty of times, jumping the start on practice starts. Everybody files through. And that is one car off. That is Zampa. He is around. Yellow flag, sector 3 for the stricken Mercedes. He is still in the race. So both Mercedes having issues off the start, and Zampa immediately into the pits to change that wing and go onto the hard tire. He's going to be hoping for a safety car relatively quick to catch him back up and maybe go on to a double medium strategy here. And he's going to go to the mediums, actually, so interesting choice there. As Heatwave now has about a 2-second advantage over Max Andrew, with Joe hot on his heels. Max Face stays close behind, and the second Haas of Rawlings not too far behind. Joe and Rawlings don't need to be pushing here. They just need to kind of sit there and mind their own business, as looks like we got a car around. That is Max Face Days. He has spun off of turn 4, and he's got wing damage, so that's going to add insult to injury. There you see the AWS Predictive Pit Stop Strategy graphic coming up. It's a bundle of action here at the Hungaroring on the start, as it always is. So many cars in close proximity, fighting for position. You really just got to let it all pan out before you try that, fellas. You just can't do that around here. All right. BRL is sponsored by Rogue Energy, and we're going to look at our Rogue Energy biggest mover of the race. Currently, that is tied between Killer F1 and Whiffy Winner 516, both up 5 spots. Heatwave now sets fast lap. Max Andrew immediately snatches that back away. 1.6 seconds is the gap. DRS activated this lap. Biggest losers right now, SSR Zampa and Max Face Days both down well over 10 positions, and Silkweaver down 2 positions. So everybody moving up except those 3, as Max Face Days now hits the pit lane. He will probably lose another spot to Zampa as Zampa goes by here. Yellow flag, Silkweaver around at the exit of turn 1. Oh no. Insult to injury. He has got wing damage as well, so the back 3 all having terrible starts to their race. And they will be hoping for a safety car before too long. Speaking of hoping for a safety car, Heatwave out front does have to serve that drive-through this lap. And Marlon Conga picking up a 3-second time penalty. He's the first victim of that we've seen tonight. So we should see the Mercedes of Heatwave dive into the pits to serve that drive-through. Max Andrew now getting a 3-second time penalty. What's he doing? He must know Heatwave has a drive-through for jumping the start. As Heatwave peels off to the right-hand side, Andrew just working way too hard, way too early. Joe's within DRS range, so Joe is just going to stream up on the back of that Ferrari. The Haas boys just kind of minding their P's and Q's, and it's paying off for them right now. So here we see Heatwave making the drive down the pit lane. Looks like Trace Me and Dark Ice going at it. Trading positions here a little bit. Dark Ice getting by Trace Me. Sorry we missed that, folks. The Alpha driver definitely on the move right now. Just behind is Killer F1. He is the next car behind the 2 Haas cars on those mediums. ARS Guido on the hard, picking up a 3-second time penalty. Oh, as Dark Eyes gets very loose, Silkweaver retires from the session in the pit lane. Man, it's a little early to call it quits, I think, for that. Sometimes you got to have that never say die attitude. And looks like Killer taking a look on Trace Me out of the chicane. Nothing happening there. Got to be very careful. His teammate Marlon Conga followed him through on arrow spin. Well, I guess that might have been a bit of lag we were seeing there with the Alpha Dark Ice Racer, because he's still out in front of these guys, so have to see how that plays out. So, Trace Me out of DRS range. Killer right on the back of Trace Me. If he can get a good run out of this corner, as Andrew now hits the pit lane on the softs. Going to those hard tires more than likely. We'll see what he goes to here in a second. We got action on the track. Killer down towards turn 1. Got DRS. He's got the inside. Got to have the move done here unless Trace Me can just hang it around the outside, but he runs it a little bit wide. Trace Me's going to have a run, but Killer's going to have DRS, and he's going to have that outside line. Trace Me sends it in deep. They're going to both run a little wide here. Killer's going to go for that cutback. He's going to be still stuck on the outside. It's not where you want to be in turn 3. Not going to have a move down to turn 4 unless he's feeling really adventurous. Nothing happening there. Put up a good fight, but just didn't quite have enough to make Trace Me yield. Now Max Andrew actually went onto the medium tire. That's an interesting strategy from him. Maybe wanting to make a little hay while the sun shines. Well, he's got that clear track in front of him up to Heatwave, who has served his penalty and is now running 11th and last of the cars that have not made a pit stop. So we will continue to watch Killer F1 with great interest here. Can he get he's a little bit farther behind Trace Me this lap, so I don't think he's going to have a move on. He may, Trace Me runs deep, and that's going to allow him right onto the back of that McLaren, but Trace Me's going to get a huge run out of the final corner, running that wide, but Killer's going to have DRS down the first straightaway. He's going to go for that inside move, or is he? Trace Me doesn't defend. Killer thinks better of it, and he's going to try to get a run out of the corner, down towards turn 2. Has DRS, he's going to get, as Guido has now left the session. Not going to cut away from the action quite yet. Killer's going to go wide there. He's not going to get a move on here, so we are going to actually get Trace Me back in here, or Guido. Get him back into the race. And I think Killer F1's just trying a little bit too hard this early in the race to get by Trace Me. Not that I blame him. You got to make hay. As Trace Me now picks up a 3-second time penalty, Guido joining back in at the back of this pack. Not really losing a whole lot of time to them, fortunately. He's a bit closer to Trace Me than he's been through this section of the track. Can he maintain it as they go through the final sector? If he can do that, I think he's going to have a move on. Same thing with Whiffy winner on Marlin. Marlin's on that soft tire, and it's going to start to give up here a little bit. This is the closest battle we have on the track here, as this is the closest I think he's been on the entry to the final corner. Get off that camera. We don't want to see out the back. We want to see out the front. Once again, with DRS, he's burned all of his overtakes, so he's not having anything to attack with. What's Trace Me sitting on? Trace Me still sitting on 60%, so Killer just burning that ERS off, man. You cannot make that stuff up around here. He's going to go for a very cheeky inside move all the way in the grass. Trace Me runs him hard. Going to have the outside line coming out of turn 2. Again, nothing happening. I think he'd be better off just kind of sitting there. He's going to take a peek into turn 4. That's a bit cheeky to try that. That's going to actually compromise his line through that corner. I think he's just going to be better off waiting the next couple of laps until Trace Me just ducks in and then try to get a little bit of a gap pulled. Next, Andrew has pulled all the way up behind ARS Guido almost, about 3 seconds still between those guys. He has got around Heatwave, who has made a stop this lap for the medium tires, so Heatwave on slightly better medium tires than Andrew. Whiffy winner picking up a 3-second time penalty there behind Killer F1. He has gotten around Marlon Conga, so making a little bit better use of his time as Draghi Oregano now looks at the Williams of Marlon. Andrew picking up a second 3-second time penalty there. And we have ARS Guido just crawling all over the back of Aero Sven here. Sven's going to hit the pit lane. That's going to be a nice, easy move. Position up. Marlin's also in the pit lane. And we're going to see Killer F1. He's right on the back of Trace Me. Going to pull it out. He's just going to have to lick the stamp and send it, son. It's turn 1 at Hungary. Just sail it off in there. He's going to have the job done, I think, this time as they come out of... Nope, maybe not. He's got DRS. He's going to have the outside line. Can he pinch Trace Me down? He's got to pinch him down out of the exit of this corner. Trace is going to have the outside line, but Killer's going to... Killer F1 out of the session. That's got to be a safety car. Trace Me also off the track. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my. Oh, my goodness. That was a huge accident, and we do have a safety car out for that. Oh, my goodness. Wow. I don't think I've seen a car ever crash that hard at the Hungaroring. That was unbelievably hard. Trace Me also appears to have damage from that. Yep, both front end plates are missing. Oh my goodness. So are we going to see the Haas's? We are. The Haas's are making a nice big gap. They got about 12 seconds between them. Rawlings laying off a lot. He's way behind Joe here. Way farther than he actually needs to be to make it a safe pit stop and not double stack. He's got Dark Ice Racer all over the back of him here. Unbelievable scenes here at the Hungaroring. Heatwave gets a 3-second time penalty under the safety car. just shooting himself in the foot after that drive-through penalty. Everybody going to be going for the hards here, I think. Oh my goodness. I still can't believe that. I'm speechless at that. I'm just speechless at that. That was a huge, huge hit. Looking at the Tier 3 chat, I'm just, wow. I still can't believe that. So with that, Rawlings has actually dropped down because Mex Andrew has jumped back up to P2. He's still got another stop to make on those medium tires. Dark Ice Racer actually leapfrogged Rawlings in the pit lane there. So that's not what the Haas guys wanted, was to have the Alfa Romeo of Dark Ice Racer to split them on this restart. And they've also got Mex Andrew in the mix there, but he is going to have to make that next pit stop. And he probably will be a little bit slower after a few laps, so he's almost a non-issue for them. Meanwhile, Whiffy Winner has gotten up to P5, Groggy Oregano up to P6, Guido up to P7. On the medium tire, he will have to make another stop. I don't see why he even bothered to come in. I would have just taken the track position and run with it. Oof. Yeah, if anybody has a clip of that or can get a clip of that and post it in the BRL General chat, just, oh my goodness. I will go out on a limb and right now say that was probably, this is not a record you want to hold, but that was probably the hardest hit in BRL history right there that we saw on camera, live, as it happened. Thankfully, it's just a video game. Safety car's in this lap. He's okay. Thankfully, it's just a video game. If he's on a wheel, his hands might be hurting a little bit because that was just violent. But all in all, the man just is okay. Thankfully, it's just a video game, folks. Just wow. So everybody stacked up behind Joe here. We're going to keep an eye on him out front. Just wanting to wait until that last possible second. There he goes. He's taking off. Trying to get as much of a gap on Andrew. Oh, and he spins! Joe spins! Joe spins out of the lead of the race on the restart. Unbelievable scenes here. Did not get those hards up to temperature. Oh my goodness. Just threw it away, son. Absolutely just threw it away. Oh my Jesus. This has just been an entertaining race in every aspect. We've had a huge crash. We've had a safety car. We got cars and all sorts of different strategies. We got people with penalties. We have had a drive-through. And now we've had a spin from the lead of the race. What else could you ask for, folks? This is entertaining. If you're not watching this, or if your friends aren't watching this, tell them to get in here. If anybody in BRL is not watching this race, you need to watch this race right now. Because this is getting interesting, folks. Face Taste gets a 3-second time penalty. He's running down at 11. Not really a huge issue for him right now. He's bottled up behind a bunch of people. He's way faster than that. But that early spin has put him on the back foot. Early spins and accidents putting everybody on the back foot here from pretty much 8th on back. And Max Andrew streaking off into the distance in the Ferrari. Still has to make another stop. But if he can just make this strategy work, I'm going to literally applaud him all night long, because this strategy here does not work out like it does in real life. He's got about a 2-second gap. He needs to have about a 20-second gap by the time he makes that pit stop to come out ahead. That's likely not going to happen. But if he can at least get to about probably 8 to 10 seconds thereabouts on the gap, especially if those two behind him start fighting, as Rawlings looks like he's about ready to make a move on Dark Ice. We know that Rawlings is a little bit quicker than the Alfa Romeo. After seeing his teammates spin out of the race lead, Rawlings has got to be smelling a win here if he can get around that Alfa Romeo, and he is going quicker and has been this entire race. Whiffy running wide off the track behind him there. Folks, we're only on lap 12. We got another 23 laps of this to go, and this has been nuts already. Looking down the field, kind of got a couple of groups forming. Aerospen got about a 2-second gap. DRS enabled this lap. Got a few cars, mostly the Mercedes, the Ferrari of Face Taste, and Joe bottled up behind him here. Marlon kind of in no man's land right out in the middle, and you got these three all bottled up behind Dark Ace. Rawlings has actually made the move, so it looks like he just got a good run down the front straightaway and made the move. So now he's in clear air. That's not going to be good news for Xander GP, who's pulled out about another 1.5 seconds on these guys in the last lap. So that's what he needs to do. He needs to keep doing that every lap to really make this work. Dark Ice picking up a 3-second time penalty. That's not what he needs to be doing to get his best result tonight. So we'll be watching how Joe can fight his way back through the pack here. He is on slightly better tires than the guys in front of him for the rest of the race. 3 of them will have to stop. Face Taste is the only one that won't, but Face Taste is on 6-lap older hards than Joe is, and that is going to make a huge pace difference later on in this race. You can see right there, they're all just bottled up. This is going to be a ginormous trolley train right here as they come down the front straightaway. Folks, I need to get something to drink because my throat is starting to get dry from all this yelling and screaming I'm doing, because oh my goodness, this is a nutty race. And you can see why I love this racetrack. It's unpredictable. It produces great action and insane crashes. As we're going to look up here at Zampa. Zampa's going to make a move on Arrow. Sven down into turn 1. Mercedes driver just sticks it on the apex. And Sven's going to try to do a cutback. Of course, the camera cuts away. Sven's going to have a run down this next straightaway. He's going to get the position back. So, good job by Sven. Zampa just not quite. Oh, and he gets a little bit of a squirrel on. No wing damage from touching the back of him. What about his teammate? Did his teammate touch the back of his car and get a little wing damage? We're going to take a look here. Does not appear so. And Joe has gotten around Face Taste for P10, the final points paying position right now at this moment. There are 3 cars directly in front of him that do have to pit, as well as Andrew GP, who is leveled out at 3.5 seconds, 3.6 seconds in front of Rawlings, who is on screen right now. He has not broken the DRS of Dark Ice. That is the first step he needs to do to focus on his race, is break that 1 second mark to the car behind. Very difficult thing to do around here. Guido picks up a 3-second time penalty there. He is running down in 13th, having made another pit stop for a new set of medium tires. And what has happened here? Joe has lost the position to Face Taste. Did he run wide? Did he half spin? What is going on with the championship leader? He is, as Tracy, he's actually got both of them now on track. What is going on with Joe tonight? Things just not shaping up for the championship leader like they need to. Meanwhile, his teammate looks to be sitting pretty out there in P2 at the moment. He now has broke that 1 second gap to Dark Ice behind him. So Rawlings looking to be the man to beat tonight if he can hold it all together. That seems to be the the one thing you don't need is to be in the lead of the race, because apparently nobody wants to hang on to it. There you see Dark Ice running very wide off the exit turn 9. Joe picking up a 3-second time penalty now. Kind of adding insult to injury to his night. Started on pole, or actually no, started in P4 on the medium tire. Might as well have been pole if the strategy had played out. Was in the lead on the restart after making his pit stop after a safety car, and just everything fell apart on that restart for him. Huh? And folks, waiting for confirmation here from BRL Maverick. As ARS Guido sets the new fast lap at 1:17.9. Doesn't matter if you're not in the top 10. And yes, indeed, he did not typo that. We have our first female driver in Tier 1. Marianne Neves, welcome to BRL. Welcome to Tier 1. We look forward to seeing you at Spa next week. Just made history for the league, folks. We got our first female driver. This has been a night of insanity, so let's just add to it on that. Welcome to the fold. Hopefully we see some good racing with you. As looks like Guido has spun again, this time at the exit of turn 5. The Racing Point driver just not having the night he needs to have. All right, everything seems to have calmed down here. Aerosfin and Trace Me, the only two cars really close on track here. Actually, Face Taste right on the back of him. So continuing to look down here, Marlon Conga actually only about, as we see Face Taste making a move on Aero Sven down to turn 1, making a nice easy move as Sven's actually got some wing damage there, and Zampa also trying to be opportunistic, get the switchback done. Not going to happen there. Gets a little bit of sideways going on there. Looking back up here, Marlon Conga right behind Groggy Oregano. Groggy having a great race in P5. The Renault driver not had a whole lot to write home about this year. Having a great race here at the Hungaroring so far. Touch wood. No commentators curse for you, sir. Not today. Meanwhile, back out front, Rawlings still kind of just maintaining right around that 3.5 to 4 second gap to Andrew out front. As those tires of Andrew start to wear out a little bit, that'll probably come back down. So Rawlings doing everything he needs to do, and Dark Ice about 3 further seconds back up the road from the Haas, currently running in second place in net P1. Unless Andrew thinks he can stretch those mediums, but that's an awful long way to go, and I don't think he can do it. If he does, there won't be any pace left in those tires at all, and he'll come sliding right back to Rawlings anyway. So it's kind of a, what do you do here, son, for him. Lap 19 of 35 started now, a little over halfway home, folks. Looking at Marlon Conga, he is right behind Groggy. 3/10, gets a little bit of sidewaysness going on out of turn 1. That's going to lose a little time up to I can't talk today. Up towards turn 2. I'm trying to talk too fast and do a little too much all at the same time. Arrow Sven right behind Zampa. Is Sven going to have DRS? No, he does not. He does not have the ability to overtake the Mercedes in front, so we're going to keep focused on Marlon up through Sector 1 and now into Sector 2. Gaining a little bit of time over what he had last lap on the Renault in front. If he can get into P5, that would be a great result for him as well. What can the Williams do up through the final sector? Groggy locks up a little bit into turn 13. Marlon's going to be a little too far back, I think, to make a move into turn 1. Runs a very tight line through that final corner. It's not really going to help you get a run. Gets a run anyway. DRS active, overtake active, not a whole lot of ERS. Is he going to have a look? It's going to have to be a dive bomb. Not quite close enough to make it work. Going to fall back in line. And now we're going to see Mex face taste right on the back of Trace Me in the Ferrari. Not close enough to make a move here either. Arrow spin passed by Joe F1, still trying to make up for his mistakes, including a big spin from the lead on the restart. He's got to still be kicking himself over that. What could have been from tonight? The man who had the lead of the race at the restart. Rawlings has now cut that gap down to 3.5 seconds, so he started to pull a little bit of time back on the Ferrari out front of Mex Andrew. This is exactly what he needs to do. The goodie's gone out of those medium tires. Andrew's probably going to want to split the difference and get into the pits. Groggy now picks up a 3-second time penalty. That's not going to help him out. Marlon's a little far back this lap, so not going to make it work this time. Marlon actually on the older tires of the pair, and Heatwave coming up behind on the mediums. He does have to stop again. Mex Andrew, like I said, coming into the pits, going to go for another set of the medium tires. He's going to the end of the race in those. Where is he going to come out? I would estimate probably around P9. Yep, that looks to be exactly where he's going to come out, is behind his teammate Mex Facetaste. So he has now got a lot of time to make up as Joe making a look on Zampa into turn 1. Joe running a little deep, a little bit of contact, nothing happening there. Guido again with an I was fixing to say, what do we got going on here? What do we got going on here? A little spinny, a little spinala action, and a little contact there into turn 2 between the two of them. Joe's going to come out on top finally, coming around turn 3. So now can he draw away from SSR Zampa, who's on 7-lap older medium tires? And right there you can see just the aero wash causing Zampa to fall back a little bit from the Haas in front. So job done there. Mex Andrew came out in front of Joe. Crucially for him, I think Joe was one of the only guys that could really cause many problems at this point in time. Trace Me now getting a 3-second time penalty. Andrew just really got to get his head down, get up to the back of Facetaste. Facetaste will probably let him through considering they are teammates. Marlon's still a little bit far behind on Groggy, but Heatwave has now caught up to the back of him. What can Heatwave do? Down the front straightaway, he's going to have a lot more grip on that medium tire, even though he does have one more lap than Marlon does on the hard. And he's also going to have DRS. Marlon's not going to have DRS in the car in front of him. Heatwave. They're both sitting on no ERS. Well, these guys love to burn that battery up. Heatwave all over the curb there. Not close enough to make anything happen right now, as we see Trace Me and Facetaste just behind, still squabbling over P7. Now here comes Andrew, steaming up behind these guys. Pulled almost a second on him in one lap. Really needs to be doing a bit more than that. He needs to get right up on the back of his teammate. Maybe make a hole for his teammate, actually, and drive through these guys and just let his teammate follow him through. Guido picking up another 3-second time penalty. He's already multiple laps down. Or he's actually almost a lap down now to the race leader, SSR Rawlings. And Guido retires from the session. What happened there? And we have another safety car. Guido put it in the barrier. Ooh. That is going to shake things up again. Rawlings hits the pit lane. I think he's the smart man of the bunch right here. He's going to actually probably still maintain at least maybe P3 or P4 possibly, depending what happens behind him. As Groggy hits the pit lane, Marlin hits the pit lane, all these guys are hitting the pit lane. Dark Ice and Whiffy, the only guys to stay out there. As Rawlings goes to the medium tire, and looks like he's getting a wing change as well. Did he maybe get some wing damage? He did. He was on the side jack there. Still going to come out in P4. Everybody going to the medium tire to end the race here, except for Mex Andrew, who just pitted a lap earlier. So this works out perfectly for Andrew. That puts him back in front of Rawlings. Everything is just falling Andrew's way right now. He does have a couple of time penalties, but everything's falling his way. He just got 2 cars on 13-lap-old hards in front of him to get around. See there, Rawlings running a little bit light on fuel. So, second safety car this race. Going to do one more lap to allow Aero Spin to catch back up. He's actually going to the soft tire. So it will be interesting to see what can he do with that. If I was him, I probably would have just stayed out and switched 1 lap later. You know, that way you can catch back up, have some... I don't know, the soft tire just overheats so easily here. The car's lighter now, so maybe it won't do it as badly, but that's a risky gamble on his part. And everybody making penalty point jokes for Trace Me. That was just a racing deal. 2 guys trying through a corner you really shouldn't try through. But that was just a racing deal between those 2 guys. You can't fault either one of them for that. Just a little bit of contact and it all came unglued. I had the same thing happen with myself and Chandler Satha won in the F2 series in the last season we did of that at that same corner. Same exact incident, just a hell of a lot less violent end result on my end. Just got a little loose on the inside, tapped him, and spun out and hit the barrier. Killer F1 has been released from the care center. And here we go. Safety car in this lap. Dark Ice and Whiffy both going to be very conscious of not doing what Joe did the last time we had a safety car restart, being on the hards, and especially being on worn hards. So, backing everybody way up. And there they go. Dark Ice Racer out in front. Going to get away from the field just a little bit, about a half second in front of Whiffy, who's going to have Mex Andrew crawling all over him here on the safety car restart. We're back to green. It is legal to pass once you hit the start-finish line down towards turn 1. Is anybody going to think about a cheeky move? I don't think anybody's close enough to think about a cheeky move. And we're just going to continue to sit here and watch this lead pack. Whiffy getting a little bit closer to Dark Ice out of that first corner. Does Whiffy maybe have something here? Got to wonder exactly how difficult it's going to be to hold back those 2 cars behind him on those fresh mediums, or any of those cars behind him on fresh mediums. Got to watch it right at the moment. It's got to be Aero Spin as Guido going around Andrew going around the outside of Whiffy winner at the exit of turn 5. That's a risky move, but he's going to make it stick possibly into the chicane. Gonna have to back out. Whiffy's going to maintain a position right now, and that's going to open up the door for Rawlings to have a look. Doesn't do it. Everybody just in a nice long train still right now. Positions aplenty to be had. Trace me running wide there off the exit of turn 9 through turn 10. We're going to keep watching Rawlings. Looks like Joe might be up the inside of somebody here. He's going to go for a move on the inside of Zampa. Touches a little bit. Not going to happen. Sven really needs to make hay while the sun shines on those soft tires. He can't be waiting around for people as Faceace making a move on Trace Me just up ahead through the final corner. Trace Me's got the inside, but Faceace's got the outside and the momentum. He's going to make that move stick around the outside as they come down the front straightaway. No DRS needed. Thank you very much. Trace Me going to come back at him down the front straightaway. Faceace not defending the inside. Bit of a silly thing to do. And he's going to spin, and he's going to get some help. And everybody's still pointing in the right direction, but 3 wide, almost 4 wide down here as Sven's now going to look to the inside. And oh, we got something going on here. A little bit of argy-bargy between these guys. Joe, Zampa, and Zampa's off the track, hard into the wall. Caught the tail end of that. Another safety car. That's going to help Dark Eyes and Whiffy hold on to those positions a little bit longer, I think. But wow, Zampa, another hard hit at the exit of turn 3, this time on the left-hand side, driver's left hand. Big impact there. Oh my goodness. Wow. So, towards the back of the pack there, but oof, big hit. As looks like Whiffy, Joe, and Faceace all diving into the pits here for some soft tires. Whiffy going to be the first of those, and he's not going to be that far off the pack. Those other two are going to have to really work to catch back up. Aerosfin still not gotten anywhere really, aside from the fact that Whiffy pitted and Zampa's retired from the session. Oh, we got some action going on back here. What's going on? Oh, Trace Me, severe collision with Heatwave. Whiffy winner, severe collision with Aerosfin. A lot of cars piling into the back of each other here. What on earth just happened? And that's going to make Whiffy's day all that much harder. He's going to have to come back in if he's got another set of softs, or he can just stay on those same set and get that wing changed. That's not something you need around here at all. As you see Whiffy diving for the pit lane, as well as Trace Me, who was on the medium tire, but he's also got wing damage now. Got to imagine both of those will get hopefully removed for 5-second time penalties, because it looks like everybody just piled in the back of Heatwave there, and it all just accordion. Okay, safety car should be in at the end of this lap. These two are going to be hard-pressed to catch back up here. Not really. They'll catch back up. And then it's pretty much going to be a fight for who has the least penalties at the end, I think. Dark Ice Racer still the lone man out there. He is the Lone Ranger. Got 7 laps to go at the end of this lap to hold on to the lead of that race. against Mex Andrew and SSR Rawlings just behind. Rawlings can smell that victory. He wants that victory. Meanwhile, back here in 8th place, Joe, don't count him out. He's on that soft tire. If he can get by these guys, he may still have a shot at this with only 7 laps to go. That's plenty of time before that tire really starts to give up, especially with the other guys having some wear on their tires and having Dark Ice out front and bottling everybody up like he does with being on that older hard tire. Safety car is going to be in this lap. We're going to jump up to Dark Ice Racer here. This is the man of the moment right now. He is in the lead of the race on the hard tire in the Alfa Romeo. Number 9, Marcus Ericsson here, our own Marcus Ericsson. Hasn't hit anybody, though. Safety car coming in here. This lap waits very late, backs everybody up. And then here he goes. He's going to try to get a bit of a jump. Andrew getting a 5-second time penalty for collision with Dark Ice there. That's not what he needed. That one might be a little bit questionable because we know they're going to stack up there. Rawlings all over the back of him. Are we going to see a move? Nope, nobody close enough. Again, down to turn 1. Got 5 cars all right in a train at the front of the field there. Joe is going to be the one I'm watching here. He's going to need to clear aero spin very quickly. Shouldn't be too big of an ask. There's a pretty good pace difference between those two drivers naturally. Not to mention 4 laps on a soft tire is a lot. He's going to go for the inside move here at turn 2. Going to get a little bit of a tap on him. Not going to have enough. Oh, they're both in the wall. Unfortunately, that is the exact opposite of what he needed to happen there. Marlon getting a 3-second time penalty. We've got Trace Me and aero spin going side by side in the turn 4. Trace Me getting back up to the pack, and he spins it out on his own. Oh, no, no, no. That is Trace Me's race done, more than likely. At the exit of turn 5, Trace Me retiring on track there. Not very cash money of him to do that. At least it's in a relatively safe location, so there likely will not be another safety car for that. Meanwhile, looking here, Mex Face Taste has made his way up to P6. Whiffy Winner up to P8 now. And here you see Heatwave kind of on his own. Joe going to dive into the pits there, anticipating possibly another safety car. Aerospin going to stick it out with the damage that he has. Whiffy now P8. Pretty much if you can finish this race, you're going to get points. As now Rawlings has gotten by Andrew. He's working on it, at least out of turn 1 down to turn 2. No DRS active yet. Look at this. You got a gaggle of cars bound up behind that Alfa Romeo, all jockeying for position. A little bit of contact there. Rawlings is through into P2. Now he's got his sights set on the Alfa Romeo out in front. This is not going to be an easy task here, though, because he is still going to be bottled up behind him, at least until they get to the front straightaway, and DRS is not going to be active until the next lap around. So this is going to get interesting. Face Taste having a look here, I think. Not quite on Marlon. Marlon's in P5, and he has got Heatwave all over the back of him as well. Folks, there's just too much going on right now for one man to cover. Got everybody bottled up here at the end except for Joe, who just came out of the pits. He's kind of running on his own. Didn't really have much of a choice in that matter. Rawlings right up the back of the race lead here. Coming out of the final 2 corners into the final turn. 5 laps to go, folks. It's all to play for. It's anybody's race here. Rawlings, DRS enabled this lap. Dark Ice going to go defensive here. Rawlings going to go to the extreme inside. He's going to get a move done here, I think. Yep, job done. Rawlings, race lead, new leader, 72. So now it comes the question of, as Andrew gets a look on the inside there, Groggy Oregano could end up with a podium here. If Groggy Oregano ends up with a podium, I will shave my beard. Not really, because my beard's awesome and I'm not shaving my beard. But still, either way, just look at this mess of cars we have at the front, as Marlon defending still from Face Taste in the Mercedes. Staunch defense from the Williams driver. Everybody running all over the track, as now Andrew looks to have... Look, Andrew's got a little wing damage there. What happened here? Andrew's got wing damage. That's not going to help him. He's going to be in a very vulnerable position. The car's behind here, not able to get that car to turn, as Groggy even almost cuts out from behind him right there. Groggy Oregano looking on the inside, coming onto the front straightaway. He is going to have They both got DRS, so this is a straight fight down to turn 1. Draghi's going to have the downforce on the inside, though, to make it stick. And he's going to be through into P3. Heatwave now up to P5. As Face now drops down to P8. What happened there? And looks like, look at that, Whiffy winner up into P6. Marlon dropping down the order. Marlon spun on the inside as Joe now sets fast lap of the race. Marlon going to put it in reverse. Come on, dude. Come on. Go, 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 dude. Like, you're ghosted out. Why are you sitting there? Anyway, getting back onto it. Whiffy winner into P6. Only got 3 laps on those soft tires. He's still got plenty to play with here. And 3 cars in front of him he might be able to get. Maybe 4 if he can get a move on. He's got to drop that Ferrari behind him, though, of Face, who's only going to heckle him here. Face having a very scruffy end of the race here. Not really what he needs. Rawlings already out to a 2.5-second lead in actually I think just under a lap. That is unbelievable here as we're still watching Dark Ice Racer, who's in P2. Gonna have Groggy Regano screaming up on the back of him in that Renault on those medium tires, though. 14 laps difference in age between those 2 cars on the tires. Meanwhile, Mex Andrew having to defend from Heatwave down towards turn 1. Heatwave going to go to the extreme inside, braking very late on the Ferrari, who does have wing damage, and that's going to be another position loss for Andrew. And Whiffy's going to have a bite of that too. Maybe a little wheel touch there, but the Alpha Tauri up into P5, looking for P4. He's got both Ferraris behind him now, as now Face gets stuck behind his teammate at the exit of turn 2. And now there's a little bit of a gap between him and Whiffy ahead, so that's not what he needed. Whiffy on the freshest tires of the field aside from Joe. Marlon retires in the pits, decided he's had enough. He will be classified because he did complete. Oh, and there goes Andrew into the inside wall, maybe off the nose of his teammate. Not really what he was looking for. Big damage on the nose of that Ferrari. Still got time to come in. He can still go set fast lap and steal that away from Joe, but he's going to lose the position to him either way. I think. If he stays out, we'll see. Meanwhile, looking back up here at Whiffy winner, he's only 7/10 behind Heatwave ahead of him. He needs to be a little bit closer. He's going to have to get closer through this 3rd sector if he wants a bite at the apple. Made up a little bit of time, lost a little bit there, though. Really needs to get a good run. He's going to have DRS down the front straightaway on the Mercedes. That's P4 he is looking at out the windshield of the car, if they had a windshield. Out the cockpit, he is looking at P4, P3, P2, all in front of him. Not going to be able to get by most of them. But still, let's give props to Dark Ice Racer. He has done an incredible job on those hard tires. 24 laps old. Oldest tires in the field by a long way. Holding on to P2 right now in front of Groggy Oregano, Heatwave, and Whiffy winner, who are all fighting over P3 with Mex Face in tow. Meanwhile, Rawlings out front, extending that gap out to 4.2 seconds. He is well and truly clear of all this. Just kind of needs to mind his own race and let these guys fight it out for second. As now we're going to see Heatwave all over the back of Groggy Oregano. Can Heatwave maybe take that podium away from Groggy here at the death? He's only going to get 1 shot at it down the front straightaway. He's got to be a little closer than this. Needs to be about 3/10 back. Groggy runs a little deep into the penultimate corner. He's going to get a run on him. 4/10, 3.5. He's right where he needs to be. Andrew getting another penalty there. He is on the soft tire, going to go for that fastest lap. Looking back here, Heatwave's about a half second back. I think he's too far back unless he gives up just an absolute mega send down into the first corner. And that takes a look. Look behind here. We got Face making a move on Whiffy at turn 1. Whiffy's going to go for the cutback. Not going to happen, though. As we see Heatwave and has spun so, oh guys, they have, oh my goodness, knocked that P4 Face any these guys coming up the SS out just no as Andrew track. Actually, I see you being cheeky over there. You're not allowed to do that. Coming around the final, SSR Rawlings from P6 on the grid will win the Hungarian Grand Prix. Dark Ice Racer holds on for P2. Mex Face gets pipped by Whiffy at the line, so penalties will not matter. Whiffy winner is on the podium, folks. followed by Mex Face Days pending any further penalties, and then Groggy Oregano and Heat Wave again pending any further penalties to either one of those. It's up to P6 actually here with a puncture. Sven, 12 lap, he's got a puncture, so crawling home. Gutsy from the Alfa Romeo driver there. His teammates on the podium. He got P6 with a puncture, so props to him for that. And now we're just waiting on Mex Andrew with no front wing after his spin to complete the running order today. Only 9 finishers from 15 starters. This place, very high attrition rate here for Tier 3. That will conclude tonight's action from the Hungarian Grand Prix of BRL. Wow, that was an action-packed race. I don't know where to start with these guys. With getting the game's driver of the day, I would have to say I agree with that. Started P15 with no time, ends up on the podium. Just incredible, incredible performance from him. Also, huge props to SSR Rawlings for keeping us cool through all that, even when his teammate crumbled under the pressure of a safety car restart. So we will get all of them in here as Rawlings accepts the trophy here in Hungary. And champagne! Let's get these guys in here and do some podium interviews. Looking down the order, fastest lap of the day did go to Joe with a 1:15.037. Plenty of penalties to go around there. So wow, just a very interesting race all around from top to bottom. So we got Whiffy Winner in here already. We'll try to get Dark Ice and Rawlings in here as well. Wow. There is Dark Ice Racer. So now we are just waiting on SSR Rawlings. All right, well, we're going to start the podium interviews with the man who pips P3 at the line on penalties, Whiffy Winner, as Rawlings now joins the party on his secondary account. So, Whiffy, the game gave you driver of the day. I would have to say I agree with that. P15 to P3 at the Hungaroring is nothing to scoff at in any respect. Man, you had a pretty quiet race till the end there. You put on those soft tires. Got some damage under the safety car when everybody stacked up and had to pit again to change the wing out, and it all just kind of panned out from there for you. You put in a really gutsy drive. Just walk us through those last few laps where you just were passing everybody.
Man, it was well, to me anyway, it was exciting the whole race, I guess. But yeah, I couldn't get a good lap in qualifying, and the race was just unfolding awkwardly. The first safety car came at kind of a good time, but I decided, okay, I'll pit. But then the second safety car, I don't know, I thought I made the right call, maybe I didn't, so I wasn't really sure. And then the last few laps, I went in for the softs, and I was coming out, and I don't know who stacked up in front of Trace Me and another guy. And it was just a train. And I was just like, oh no. And I took red wing damage on the left side. So I re-pitted. And then I had to use used softs from qualifying, which was sketchy at best, but still good. They were only a couple %. But the last few laps of overtaking was just send it when you need to and don't look back. Just don't look back. Just it was. I apologize to anybody that I was maybe a little over the top with, but hey, it earned me driver of the day, so it was worth it, man. It was great fun. Great fun.
Indeed. Enjoy that podium, my friend. I now know how sweet that tastes after this weekend as well. So, moving on
Oh,
to
congratulations, man.
P2, Dark Ice Racer,
Yeah.
the man who decided to hold
Yep.
out, the Lone Ranger of tonight, holding out on those hard tires. Man, you almost pulled it off. Only guy got by you was the guy who won the race, Mr. Rawlings down here. So walk us through your decision after that safety car to stay out on the hard tires, even when everybody else around you hit the pit lane.
So yeah, that was a bloody race. Like there's so much that happened. First in qualifying, I went first with a medium and realized when I went to do a lap on my soft, I realized that was a mistake and I should have started on mediums. But it turns out that it got me a lot more places than I should have got because I got a safety car just at the when my pit window opened. So I pitted to get my hard tires. And then from this point, I just tried to hold on this area. I knew I had to do a lot of laps, but when the safety cars went out by 10 lap by the end, I had two options: pit for another set of mediums or soft, and I decided to stay out because I saw that shift Wi-Fi winner that stayed out, so I stayed out. But I saw Rawling going in, and I saw everyone after that going in. I said, "Oh fuck, I should have maybe went in." But I stayed with my decision and try to keep my pace. And on the second safety car restart, there's Max Facetas who went into me at the restart, and that got me a 5-second penalty. I'm gonna talk about that with the steward, but fortunately, I didn't lose any place by those 5-second penalties, but I shouldn't have those 5 seconds at the end. But yeah, that was I got some hard time at the end catching up, like trying to keep my pace. At the end, I was pretty much at the same pace that I was on my 20th lap or something. So I'm pretty happy with my result at the end, and happy with my decisions on the track.
Indeed. Good job to you. Your little side note, your teammate actually, who was the first guy to go for that soft strategy, did 12 laps on those soft tires and finished the race with a puncture in P6.
Yeah, it's impressive.
So props to both of you guys. Alfa Romeo getting second and sixth tonight so far. Moving on to our race winner, Mr. Rawlings, 72. The man who are we just gonna have to start calling you Kimmy, because it seems like when it gets nuts around here, you just kind of keep your cool.
Yeah, I mean, yesterday I had a race here in SSR. I think I went P18 to win the race, so I think it's pretty safe to say that I like the Hungaroring. But yeah, in quali, I seen everyone going for the softs, and I knew the medium to hard was optimal. So me and Joe decided to take the mediums for a spin and quali on them, and we both did our PBs in the session, which was a good sign. So we started P4, P6. First safety car, it was a bit awkward because I had to back myself up in a dark ice a lot. I think I was 10 seconds behind the delta.
Man, you did way too much, because he actually jumped you there. You only need to be about 6 or 7 seconds to get a safe pit stop, and you were like almost 12 at one point.
Yeah, and then I mean it was all smooth sailing until the first safety car restart when Joe spun out, and it's unfortunate because I know he had better pace than I did around here, and it was a really good chance for a 1-2. But yeah, I mean after the safety car restarts, I decided to have quick reactions going and fit the medium tire, and I seen that Andrew didn't pit, so I knew it was going to be between me, Dark Ice, Whiffy, and Andrew for the win. So. The first safety car restart I seen, Andrew was getting a little frustrated with Whiffy in front of him, just trying to get past him at places he probably shouldn't. And then second safety car restart, I seen Whiffy box, so I stayed out. I was in P3 at that point, and then I said to myself before the restart, if Andrew doesn't get past Dark Ice within 2 or 3 laps of the safety car restart, then I'm just gonna take matters into my own hands. So I gave him a lap, and then I went for the dive bomb in turn 1, I think, on lap 30 or something like that, and then the next lap I did the same thing to Dark Ice. So, yeah, I mean, I hope this win stands this time. I'm pretty sure it will, but I
It
hope
should.
it
You
does,
really
'cause-
didn't. You really didn't do anything wrong
'cause-
all night, so it should stand
Yeah.
pretty easily.
Yeah, I mean, Dark Ice was, he had really good pace on the hards after I passed him. I was kind of taking a conservative, because I had 2 warnings and I didn't know. I had the glitch where if you press X, you're not allowed to check like time penalties or race updates or anything like that because he shows you a strategy option, and I couldn't really ask if Dark Ice had any time penalties. So I knew I had to stay out of 3 seconds, but I had to at the same time not not acquire another one. So. Yeah, I'm happy. Happy with that.
Alrighty, folks. Well, I believe that is going to do us for tonight for Tier 3 here. Be sure to tune back in about 30 minutes for Tier 4. Hopefully, it won't be as crazy as that. And also, guys, I don't know if you heard if you guys were talking about it in the race chat, but I think we may have seen the biggest hit ever in BRL from Kaiser Square, whatever you want to call him. Just absolutely end over end over end out of turn 3. Big hit. Also for Zampa, big hit at the exit of turn 3 on the opposite. So, just wow. It's a good thing it's a video game, guys. Otherwise, those guys would be hurt. So, anyway, that's going to do us tonight, folks. Again, tune back in very shortly for Tier 4 from this lovely circuit. Hopefully, it'll be a little calmer than what we just witnessed right there. Or maybe not. We'll see. Good night.
What's up? Yeah, no, the first time I passed you,